Amazon Kuiper wins JetBlue and Wyoming State from Starlink before their network is even live. Canada's Cohere's Contrarian founders chart their own direction, and it's paying off. Tesco sues Broadcom over VMware license changes and warns of food supply disruptions. And Elon Musk teases that Grok 5 might be AGI. A bold claim or just more hype? Welcome to #Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. Amazon's satellite venture, Project Kuiper, hasn't even finished building its constellation, but it's already scoring some real high-profile customers. This week, JetBlue became the first airline to sign on, committing to Kuiper-powered Wi-Fi for part of its fleet starting in 2027. At the same time, the state of Wyoming announced that it will use Kuiper to expand rural broadband access across the state. That's a high-stakes endorsement considering Starlink is already fully operational with thousands of satellites in orbit. Kuiper, sponsored by Jeff Bezos, has currently only 100 satellites launched, but plans to start limited service by late 2025. Under U.S. regulatory requirements, it must have half its planned 3,200 satellite network in orbit by mid-2026. In other words, the system isn't operational yet, but customers are already lining up. The takeaway? Amazon is landing significant deals before its network is even live. That raises a question. How is Elon Musk's Starlink losing potential flagship customers to a competitor still under construction? Cohere, the Canadian AI company, and its founders have never been afraid to take a contrarian position. Co-founder Nick Frost, who worked under Geoffrey Hinton at Google, has openly disagreed with his former mentor on the urgency of artificial general intelligence. He's also publicly called out OpenAI's Sam Altman, labeling some of the AGI talk as academically disingenuous. That skepticism has shaped Cohere's entire strategy. Instead of chasing headlines with chatbots, the Toronto-based startup has focused on enterprise AI, customized, secure, and built for industries where privacy and trust are non-negotiable. The results are striking. Valued at nearly $7 billion, Cohere has doubled its annualized revenue to about $100 million this year. Roughly 85% of the business now comes from private deployments in sectors like finance and healthcare, with margins approaching 80%. Its secure workplace assistant, called North, is already being piloted by companies such as Royal Bank of Canada and LG. And unlike many rivals, Cohere has positioned itself as a government partner. It's signed agreements with Canada and the UK to help digitize public services and advance AI safety research, but it's also joined the White House's voluntary AI safety commitments, making it one of the few non-US developers in that circle. Canada has always made a huge contribution to AI development. If you think of pioneers like Geoffrey Hinton, who started his work at the University of Toronto, Ilya Sutskever, and many more who studied here before heading to Silicon Valley. What makes Cohere different is that its founders seem to have retained their Canadian roots, at least for now. And that, as well as their other contrarian positions, makes them a company well worth watching. Tesco, one of the UK's largest supermarket chains, just dropped a legal bombshell. The retailer has filed suit against Broadcom, owner of VMware, and reseller CompuCenter, alleging that they breached a contract over perpetual VMware licenses. Tesco is warning that the dispute could even threaten its food supply chain. Back in 2021, Tesco bought perpetual licenses for VMware's vSphere Foundation and Cloud Foundation, along with Tanzu subscriptions and support through 2026, with an option to extend. But after Broadcom acquired VMware in 2023, it ended support for those licenses and pushed customers onto more expensive subscriptions. Tesco says that means it's effectively paying twice for software it already owns and losing access to critical security updates. That's no small matter when VMware is powering some 40,000 virtual workloads that keep its tills running and its stock flowing. Tesco is seeking at least £100 million, which is about $134 million US, from each defendant. Other big names, AT&T and Siemens among them, have filed similar suits, and in the Netherlands, a court ruled that the government must continue receiving support until it transitions off VMware. One industry commentator noted that for Tesco, it's probably cheaper and less risky to sue Broadcom than to try moving away from VMware altogether. The real question is whether Broadcom rolls the dice in court or quietly settles. So far, the company has shown itself willing to take on even its biggest customers. If this goes to trial, we'll get to watch the details play out. If it settles, we may never know the full story. There's been a healthy skepticism around my recent story asking whether we've already achieved artificial general intelligence, and that's fair. I raised it as a question, not really as a position. But the line between advanced large language models and true AGI is fuzzy, and, yes, hype runs ahead of reality. But Elon Musk appears to be leaning fully into that hype. In a recent interview, he suggested that xAI's upcoming Grok 5 model might actually qualify as AGI. Musk has been someone who's warned about the dangers of artificial general intelligence, but now he's implying his own team may be the first one to cross that line. It's not the first time Musk has made bold claims. He's promised us robotaxis, Mars colonies, and Neuralink breakthroughs that haven't always fully materialized. Still, he's done some impressive work, so when it comes to Grok, xAI is on a rapid release cycle, and Musk insists that version 5 will show capabilities we haven't yet seen in other systems. The question is whether Grok 5 will truly deliver something that looks like AGI, or whether this is more of the same overstatement we've come to expect from Elon. Either way, when Musk starts dropping hints like this, the industry and investors pay attention. So will he do it? Who knows? Has he ever exaggerated before? And that's our show. If you like what we're doing, please share the show with others. Give us a like or comment on your favorite podcast app or site. We're found everywhere: Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and more. We seem to be back on Alexa and Google today, and fingers crossed, I hope we can maintain that. We'd love to hear from you. You can reach me at technewsday.ca or .com. Just go to the Contact Us page, and while you're there, if you'd like to support what we're doing, please go to the Donate tab and consider contributing, even just the cost of a cup of coffee a month. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just leave a comment under the video. Of course, your contributions would be gratefully accepted as well. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend.